Ah, somebody got a helper today. Are you going to come and cook with me today?
Yes.
Why don't you come? Why don't you come on this side with me today?
And then?
And then you can do the dame and I'll sit here for a change. And I can have a glass of wine for a change. You can have my water. I love. It's actually one of my favorite things to do, to watch other people cook as well. Right, shall we start, guys? Let's get cooking. It's a meat demonstration today. We're doing carpaccio of beef, and the carpaccio basically speaks for itself. I'm going to make a remoulade, which is a plain mayonnaise with a bit of mustard, thinned down with a bit of lemon juice, and I'm going to put in it the raw grated celeriac. So have you ever seen this? This is a celeriac bulb. Basically what it is, it's got big roots coming out of here. It's been chopped off now, but on the top part grows the soup celery. Packed with flavors, but doesn't look very nice. And basically that's the bulb that lives underground. And this is a little treasure, this phenomenal, great flavor. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna peel it, and then we're gonna grate it raw. And we're gonna mix it with mayonnaise to make something called celeriac remoulade. As you can see, I'm peeling this quite heavily. It's got almost a double layer of skin, like the turnips. It's got a first skin and a second skin, which is quite hard. So you must actually be quite generous when you peel. I'm just going to put a little bit of lemon juice in there. So basically this is my grated celeriac. Put a little bit of lemon juice in the celeriac because it's going to prevent it from oxidizing. From the moment you peel it, it oxidizes a little bit like potato do. That'll keep it very nice and white until I put my sauces. And what I'm going to do there, I'm going to make a little mayonnaise, and we're going to put some homemade mayonnaise in there, and that's celeriac remoulade. Let's make mayonnaise. It's so easy to make mayonnaise. I want this mayonnaise to be mustardy because that's the flavor that I want in my remoulade. So 2 egg yolks, a good spoon of mustard, a little bit of vinegar, a pinch of salt, not too much. I can still season my remoulade afterwards. And then I'm going to go with oil slowly. I was saying yesterday, I've never flopped the mayonnaise in public. So I hope today is not the first day. We're going to do about 300 ml for 2 egg yolks. Okay, so there we go. Homemade mayonnaise. I mean, you know, it's not worth buying mayonnaise in a jar. It's so easy. Slow motion. Okay, so here I put about 2 large tablespoons of mayonnaise in my celeriac. Just mix it nicely. And that's all it is. This is celeriac remoulade. Let me just taste that the remoulade is. All right. This is so good, guys. I love the flavor of celeriac with meat. It really works for me. To make carpaccio, I'm just going to slice by hand, slices as thin as I possibly can. If you can't quite go thin and you still have about this thickness, it's fine because this is what we're going to do. Cut these pieces in half, like this. And then with my other knife, I'm going to put a bit of water on it. And then all you do is you put the knife on the meat. And then with the back of your hand, apply a little bit of weight and your meat's perfect carpaccio size. It mustn't be too thin. You know, you want to have the feeling that you are eating a little bit of meat. I mean, you can go as thin as you want, you know, but I'm not putting too much pressure. The meat is very tender. And then this is the one that I sliced a little bit thinner. So obviously it just gets a bit bigger. And here, let's do the carpaccio. So basically, I'm going to season the carpaccio, a little bit of salt, some pepper. That also is going to be eaten in the next few minutes, so it's fine to season it. Then I've got here a little tin of tomato paste, which I've removed both sides. And it's very nifty because it makes a little shape. Beautiful. Pull the ring out. I like to top it with a little bit of wild rocket. Rocket and carpaccio is a classic. And then we've got some pecorino shavings. I'm using pecorino. I love pecorino. I don't prefer it to Parmesan, but what's nice about it is that it's quite a bit cheaper. Locally, it's made better than Parmesan. So you put pecorino shavings. So yeah, that's just good olive oil. You put a good amount of olive oil on top of that. Put the some balsamic vinegar from Q. Now, you see, be generous with the vinegar because that's it. It's the seasoning. You season the salad and you season the meat at the same time. And then finally, some truffle oil. This is white truffle oil. Go for it. Spoil yourself. It's so delicious. Okay, and that's it really. That is how easy it is to make a really delicious carpaccio at home. You don't have to freeze the meat. You don't just have to have a good piece of meat. Thin it as slice as you can, make sure there's no fat, no sinew on it. Hammer it gently with your knife. The meat is thin, it's very tender, but it's not insipidly thin. You give this to an Italian, you're scoring. I like the mayonnaise by hand because I just like the pain in my shoulder and my wrist. I completely enjoy it.